These are some green flags to look out for when you're choosing childcare for your child, a facility where you're going to keep your child for a few hours while you're at work or you're busy with other things in life. And so, one green flag is communication. Is the communication between you and the caregivers open, transparent, honest? They give information about the facilities that you might not even think about, but the conversation is open and they are being very open about everything, the capacity that the room can take, the kind of food they serve. Just open and honest conversation is a green flag when you want to choose a childcare facility for your child. Other is the environment. Obviously, is the environment clean? Is it tidy? Just looking around the facility, are there any weird smells? Does somebody have a bad smoking habit in the house? That's if it's a day home. And if it's a daycare, the environment, how do they dispose used diapers? How do they serve food? Do they wear gloves? You just observe those things. So if it's a neat and a clean, organized environment, it's a green flag for a childcare facility. The next is respect from the caregivers to your child. So do the caregivers get down to your child's level? I think one green flag that I noticed in my experience was how the caregivers will always make sure that the children go home neat. And how do they care for the children? Do they get down to their level, make sure their shoes are tied, they're not tripping off on their shoelace? Do they make sure that they go home with tidy or neat diapers? Do they make sure that they clean up the boogers in their nose? Those are green flags. So how do they treat your children? Do they talk to them with respect, or do they yell when they want to give instructions? So how do they communicate with your children? Next is balanced feedback. So one thing the senior management at my son's daycare facility made clear to me is they try to give feedbacks in a model called a sandwich model. So they start with good feedbacks, how they're doing, and then they put in the negative feedback, not negative, but areas that you need to work on. And we're working on in daycare, and we want you to work on it at home as well with your baby. And then underneath, a good feedback as well. So are the feedbacks balanced, or do you repeatedly get negative feedbacks when you go pick up your child during pickup or drop-offs? Are the feedbacks always negative, or is there a balance between, oh, this is what we're working on and this is what he's great at and this is what he's or she's good at, right? So that's going to be a green flag if the feedbacks you get are balanced. Space that feels calm and reassuring for not just your children, for you, because child safety is not a provision for just your child, but it's a reassurance for you as well. So trusting your instinct, just your heart, that this is a good place for my child. I like how they're developing here. They are confident. Like when my son comes back, I'm going to put in a positive feedback here. Is my son was telling me about 911 calls and why you call 911 calls and how you should go about it. I'm like, wow, this boy is like barely 3 years old and he has this knowledge and he learned that from that facility. So knowing that your child is growing properly in that environment, he has the academic support that he needs, emotional support that he needs, just a balanced feel, and you have reassurance as a parent, is a green flag. I also made a video on the red flags that you should watch out for in your child's daycare facility, but these are some green flags, and yeah, keep your eyes out for that. It should give you a little bit of reassurance as a parent that my child is in good hands.